Hey everyone, it's Liz. Welcome back to Liz on Lucky Street. I wanted to share with you this quick flip through of this chunky floral junk journal that I made. It's already listed in my Etsy. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Sorry, I have been MIA for a while. I've had a lot going on with work and my personal life, and it usually always happens at the same time. It never fails, right? So I'm going to quickly show you guys this kind of like a document slash ephemera holder, however you want to use it. Here's a little tag. I did use some digitals. As always, I usually mix a lot of old papers and wallpaper. And I've mixed some digitals with this one as well. So I'll spit the name out of the digital artist that I use, and I'll be linking them below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. All right, so the front of this little ephemera folder is a digital from Luna Rosu. She has this new garden digital mix, which is amazing. It's probably one of the best garden digital kits that I've seen. I really, really love it. So this is pretty simple. I put a vintage office brad in the back, and these documents fold out like this. They're all antique. Just a receipt. I have a lot of antique tissue paper receipts in here, or letters. The back two are blank, so you can have fun, do what you want to with those. And I've also clipped some receipts in there as well. So we'll set that to the side and get into it. All right, so like I said, this one is tall, it's chunky, it's get my tape measure. Oh, I think it's 9 1/4. It's like 9 1/4 by 1 1/2. Well, I guess 9 1/2. 9 1/2 by 4, I believe, and then the spine is 1 1/2. So the closure's pretty simple, sari silk, and then I have a pendant here with some roses in it. I hope you guys can see the flowers due to the glare. And I'm going to go through this real quick. I'm not going to go into super big details. I'm going to try to make this fast because I have 5 more journals I need to film and list. 2 are already spoken for, but if you wish to purchase one, you can reach out to me or wait for the next flip through. All right, you guys, so this is a vintage file folder, as you can see, and I have just snazzed it up with some, and this is antique wallpaper that I cut out. This fabric on the spine is some antique French fabric. It's gorgeous. And on the back, I've reinforced it with some French wallpaper as well. So the back's pretty sturdy. The front is reinforced, but not right at the edge. So you will have to be careful when handling it. I've added some tape there to try to help, like when you're opening and shutting it. But just keep that in mind. All right, here we go. It's reinforced inside as well. I did add this piece of sari here at the last minute. The glue was seeping through this. This is some more antique fabric that I used to adhere it to the spine, and I did not like that. So I attempted, let me cut this string off real quick. I attempted to cover it real quick with a piece of sari. Just try to make it look a little more pretty. All right, so I have a old French envelope here. Again, I'll point out anything that is digital. If it's not digital, I'm not gonna say it. You guys can just assume that it's real. Here's another old envelope, and I think I tucked some wallpaper bits in here. Yeah, so there's a couple pieces of wallpaper bits in there. I do have some tabs in here, as you can see. This is from a chapter 1 digital kit. She's got some really pretty kind of, maybe they're fabric squares. Anyway, they're really, really pretty. They're useful in just about anything you do. So, this is actually some of my stuff that I've scanned. There's a tag, this little pocket. There's a fabric tab. Here's one of those pieces, I think this one is French, of old tissue paper. piece from an old yearbook. And some French ledger. So, mind you how thick and chunky this thing is. It does lay flat, but since it's so wide, you will have to prop it up with like a book or something as you go, okay, as you use it. There's more wallpaper collaged throughout. There's some wallpaper here and some paper from the 1700s in there. I think I stuck something else in there, yeah. There's some really pretty French wallpaper. I used it sparingly because I love it. There's some wallpaper. And here's a piece of wallpaper that I put in there for you to use. I'm not going to untie this envelope, but it is an envelope. So you may do with it what you will. Here's the other side of the yearbook page. There's some bits in there. The collage pocket. This is another piece from the chapter 1 digitals. There's a little baby file folder, which I love. There's some wallpaper stuff in there. And I did some of these little, I put a couple more of these file folder things in there. I've covered them with some old feed sack. So that was pretty, oh. Sorry, you guys, I didn't realize I was that close to the bottom of the frame. So yeah, I did cover them with some old pieces of feed sack, which turned out really, really nice. So this was an envelope. This is how I added the flap. The flap was kind of falling apart, as you can see right here. This is some antique French papers. This is the other side of the envelope at the beginning that I adhered to the back of this envelope. So there's some goodies in there, and there's some goodies in here, more paper. That letter that was originally in this envelope is in this one as well. So this is a clear, like an acetate pocket with a vintage doily. I really loved how this one came out. With some wallpaper. Some stamping. This little frame is from chapter 1 as well. So there's a little bit in here. It's a little, yeah, it's a little envelope. Or the cover of the envelope. This envelope is from Luna Rosu as well. She has a bunch of fantastic covers of old envelopes, and you can use them to collage, to make pockets. You can use them as an envelope. So there's a lot of possibilities with those as well. Here's a little bag, a little glassine bag. Forgot what was in here. Some wallpaper bits in here, and some labels that I did cover. Just collaged it. The digital page. I've been using a lot of these tabs lately. I've just been punching them out of like a floral book that I have. Because every time I'm at like a thrift store or a bookstore, I am constantly on the lookout for vintage floral books with pictures like these, so that I can use it for tabs or pockets. But the repetition of the flowers makes for very good junk journaling. There's just so many possibilities, so just be on the lookout for that. Doesn't matter if it's from the 70s, 80s, 90s, doesn't matter. Here's some antique French wallpaper I used as a whole page. I clipped some goodies in here. There's an old envelope. It feels like there's something in it. No, there's nothing in it. This just folds out. Some wallpaper collaged on. It comes out. There's some wallpaper. There's some wallpaper. Here's another one of those pockets. This has some French wallpaper on the file folder. This is like a little, it's so cute, like a little French card. I probably should translate that. It's kind of embarrassing. I don't know what it says, but alas, it's in there. Here's a pocket that I collaged. Tag, and then an old receipt or check, whichever you prefer. This is from a book. So right here, I just folded up a very big piece of glassine. excuse me, that you can use. So this was from like a stamp album. So the stamps would be protected. A lot of those old stamp albums you can find on eBay and stuff like that. Here's some antique French wallpaper, another part of a file folder. Here's some vintage French wallpaper that I did not put a pocket on. Some of the pages in here that are wallpaper I didn't cover up. I didn't add a pocket. Here's some antique French fabric. It was just too pretty, and I'm sorry you guys about the light. It's pretty bad in here right now. They were just too pretty to cover anyway, so I didn't. More wallpaper collage. I took an old floral book page in here. Here's the other side of that antique the French wallpaper page. This little bit pops out. I might have to adjust this thing pretty randomly. There's another part of a file folder, which I love these things. I wish they weren't so fragile because I love the coloring of it. Here's a double pocket. So I put a card there. Actually, it's a triple pocket. I forgot. I left this little bitty baby part open and I put some stamps in there. You can close it. It's such a little pocket. It's really perfect for stamps. And here's some pretty paper from a notepad. The texture of this paper is really cool, so it's kind of why I added it in there. Feel like, hold on you guys. Okay, I got it. I was trying to see if I tucked anything in one of the pockets where this was, but there was. Okay, here's another piece of antique wallpaper. Some of this stuff is like, as you can see, it still has that powdery pigment with the coloring on it, so you'll have to be mindful and careful. And here's the other side of the acetate pocket with the receipt in it. It flips out. You can also journal here, tuck it back. I collaged a lot of those wallpaper. This is chapter 1, but this pocket has a piece of antique ledger in it. This one kind of folds out. So you can, by all means, cut these extra pieces off if you want to, or you can glue it to have that as a pocket. You can take that off, glue that there as a pocket. I just loved how it looked together, so I left it that way. This is chapter 1. I love that stamp. I think who makes that stamp. Here's an old photograph in this envelope here. Oh, here's some more vintage wallpaper. This is a little envelope as well. Here's a pocket with a playing card in it, collaged. This is a belly band. I'm not going to take it out because at the angle I'm at, it's going to be pretty hard, but there's a vintage flash card and an old antique French wine label in there. See the top of it. So I'm going to leave that there. More wallpaper collaged. Here's a piece of typing paper with a bunch of antique papers inside, kind of tucked away. Here's a pocket here with this envelope. Again, I'm not going to take it out. It's going to be hard to get back in. There's some antique wallpaper down there. And there's a pocket there with an old receipt in it. Some French wallpaper, I've done a lot of wallpaper collaging and like regular antique paper collaging in this one, which I'm really enjoying. So there's a pocket on the side right here But this top part is also a pocket with some wallpaper, and I'm not going to take it out. But it's there. Here's a belly band with some antique French wallpaper. Piece of ledger tucked in there. I might need to move this to the side. See if I can try to get a better angle going. This is an old greeting card that I put on the front. Here's another baby file folder. It's not really helping much, is it? Okay. Just have to wing it, you guys. Some of these pages with the like the little squares, the little floral picture squares, I've covered them up. Like, this is a piece of antique French wallpaper. Like, if I wasn't fond of the picture, or if I didn't think the colors went with the spread I was on, I covered it up with fabric or wallpaper or any kind of paper. Here's a little French postcard here. It's just an antique, big antique receipt. It's a big one. Here's a page from the 1600s from an old book. This is probably one of my favorite spreads of the book, just because I love the colors with the old envelope and the baby file folders. Here's some more vintage fabric that I put on them. There's an old tag with a card. Here's an old Victorian calling card. So it's fun and authentic. Do what you want with that. This, you could cut the sides or the top to make a pocket. I didn't want to because this thing is already bulky because it's so long and chunky. I didn't think it was necessary, but obviously you could do that. If you removed some of the stuff inside, you would have more room. Or if you just simply want this thing chunky, by all means. Here's some antique French wallpaper. This is a big belly band. I've tucked some receipts in right there. But there that is. Here's another antique French postcard. I forgot what that was called for a second. There's some old paper, wallpaper, collage. Here's a piece from an old antique French like fabric sample book. More wallpaper. See, right here's a perfect example. If you didn't like those little red, I guess they're tomatoes. I don't know what they are. It's a different name down here. Anyway, if you don't like that, you can cut it up and cut something else out and put it on top. It's a stamp. Obviously, that doesn't quite fill the gap, but you kind of, I'm trying to see if I have something square around me. Of course I don't have a small square when you need one, but like here's one of them little baby file folders. See, I'm just kind of covered up. There's some antique French fabric that I covered on that one. I wasn't too fond of it. Some wallpaper. Here's a glassine pocket. So there's a antique French label right there, and I stuffed some things inside the pocket that's sideways so you can tuck them in there. That's nice and see-through, so that's fun. Here's a vintage glassine envelope. I'm not going to take everything out, but there's some, these are authentic, like obviously airmail stickers or tags, whatever they are. There's some labels, that's what it's called. Some authentic labels in there. There's also like a floral postage stamp. So oh, this went well with this book, I thought. This is a gorgeous antique picture called Among the Flowers. So I thought that was appropriate. She belonged in here among this flower tucked away. Here's some antique wallpaper. Got some gold on it. Hope you guys are seeing all this. We're nearing the end. Here's a little tuck spot made out of an envelope. Here we go. There's the last. There's the cover. So, alas, I am sorry I have been absent, you guys. I really hope that I can keep up in the future and be more present, get things listed, keep creating, keep making, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.